So I, 27 male, recently got engaged to my wonderful fiance, 26 female. Everything was going smoothly until my twin brother, let's call him Jack, decided to pull off an elaborate plan to sabotage our relationship. Before I share the incident, y'all got to know a little bit about my dynamic with my brother. Growing up, he always enjoyed messing with me, taking advantage of our identical looks. It was like a never ending cycle of pranks, with him often crossing the line from harmless jokes to downright mean stuff. I've been through countless situations where he would play his tricks and then conveniently blame me for them. Being twins, he used our similarity to manipulate situations and put me in difficult spots. It's been annoying and unfair, to say the least. To protect myself from his antics, I decided to dye my hair. I thought maybe if we didn't look exactly the same, he would stop his fake acts. But sadly, that didn't stop him. He continued with his never ending pranks, causing me more stress and problems. His behavior has caused our relationship to go so bad over the years. And you won't believe this, but here's the deal. My twin brother had this major crush on this girl back in the day, but she wasn't into him at all. Fast forward a few years, and guess what? She and I ended up working together. And guess what else? We fall head over heels in love. Yeah, I know, crazy, right? The thing is, she genuinely fell for me because of who I am, while already turning down my brother who looks exactly like me. You can imagine how insanely jealous this made him. But here's the kicker. He's already married, and yet he was jealous as hell. I mean, seriously, who does that? I had no clue that his jealousy was eating him up inside to the point where he would go all out to sabotage my relationship. It's just mind blowing how he could stoop so low, especially when he was committed to someone else. It's like a messed up soap opera. Discovering his true colors and looking at the lengths he would go to cause issues between us has broken any trust or love I had left for him, which was already like the bare minimum. Anyway, back to the engagement day. During the engagement party, Jack created the scene where he showed fabricated pictures, supposedly showing me cheating on my fiancé. He went all out showing these pictures to me in front of everyone, including our family and friends. It was a total shock and caused quite a problem. He was anything but subtle, putting the pictures in a slideshow instead of our pictures. Everyone looked confused, and I was feeling uneasy and helpless. Normally, I was quick enough to find solutions to any problem, but I was at a loss of words back then. I did not even know how to explain this to people. I didn't know how I was going to prove it to my fiancé. But something interesting happened right after that. Jack, in his overconfidence or perhaps his stupidity, forgot to edit out a crucial detail in one of the pictures: a tattoo of himself. It was an epic blunder on his part, and it was my fiancé who was the first one to notice this. Talk about a major slip up. I wasn't in the condition to look for a loophole, but my girlfriend did, meaning she still trusted me, and that meant everything to me. She quickly zoomed in on the pic and asked my brother if he had anything to say about this. As a result of his mistake, not only did my entire family see through the lie, but his own wife, let's call her Lisa, also caught him red-handed because, well, he was the one in the picture instead with another woman. Needless to say, Lisa was furious and hurt by his betrayal. She immediately decided to leave him. Right then, my brother hurried over to me, his voice low as he asked for an apology and begged for my help. And then my brother leaned in once more, confessing that his marriage now was in trouble and I needed to help him out. But I remained silent, refusing to help him. His wife, standing nearby, was so done, and it was clear. But he kept going, trying to explain how it was a joke through stupid excuses, trying to justify what he had done. But our mom, who had been observing the entire drama, reached her breaking point. Without warning, she silently walked towards him and suddenly slapped him hard. All of us were shocked, but also expected nothing less. Lisa told him that she would send over divorce papers, and now their marriage is on the rocks. Even our family wants nothing to do with Jack after checking out his manipulative tricks. He tried very hard by going to each and every one, explaining how I already knew about everything, and now I am intentionally silent to frame him. But everyone was done with his lies, and I was not going to let him ruin my engagement party. There had already been a lot of drama, so I immediately called for security and had him thrown out. After that, I took the mic and gave a short speech where I asked everyone to take a few minutes, after which we would resume the party. It's not every day that one gets engaged, and I did not want to remember this day as something so dramatic and weird. It was good to see that everyone else agreed with me, and soon we all were together trying to get back in a good mood. Although that was not entirely possible, everyone tried their best, and that meant something. As the night ended, I found a lot of texts from my brother blaming me for everything, including his marriage, which was going down the drain. Like any of it is my fault? Is there even any point in this? Why would I help him show people that it was a prank? He wanted to sabotage my wedding. Update 1. Hey folks, I'm back with an update on the ongoing drama. So, after the incident at the engagement party, my twin brother has gone into overdrive mode, desperately trying to reach out to everyone and speaking shit about me. Oh, and here's the thing. Nobody seems to really care about his whining and complaining. The truth speaks for itself, right? Meanwhile, his wife has made up her mind about the whole situation and is dead set on getting a divorce. Our family is totally on her side. They've seen through my brother's shenanigans and are supporting her all the way. It's refreshing to know that they're standing up for what's right. Now, let's talk about me and my fiancé. Despite all the chaos, things between us are actually getting pretty great. In fact, I'd say we're closer than ever. We've become a rock-solid team going through this storm together. It's amazing how challenges can either make or break a relationship, and in our case, it's made us stronger. News of my brother's disgusting behavior has spread like wildfire in his workplace. Yep, his colleagues found out about the whole drama. He lost his job. Talk about karma hitting hard. I can't say I'm surprised, as after his actions it's quite obvious. But it's a significant result of his own doing that he'll have to deal with. Of course, in true blame-shifting fashion, my brother has decided to point the finger at me. He's playing the victim card, trying to make it seem like everything is my fault. But honestly, it's all just a desperate attempt to save face and avoid taking responsibility for his actions. It's sort of what he does best. Update 2. So remember how I mentioned my brother was filled with anger? Well, that anger has now reached a boiling point, and he's directing all of it straight at me. The dude has seriously lost his marbles. I mean, who goes to such extremes? Just yesterday, he took his craziness to a whole new level. I woke up to the sound of breaking glass and rushed downstairs to find him trying to break into my house. Not only did he manage to break a window in the process, but he was also loitering around like some kind of deranged stalker. I gave him a stern warning, letting him know that I wasn't messing around. If he didn't back off and leave me alone, I was ready to call the cops. I wasn't bluffing. I made it clear that if it came to that, I wouldn't hesitate to spill the beans about this whole picture incident that started this whole mess. So that's that. Update 3. Hey everyone, it's time for some much needed closure on this situation. I have some great news to share. My brother has finally given up on his relentless pursuit of causing chaos in our lives. Maybe he realized that his antics were getting him nowhere, or perhaps reality finally hit him square in the face. Whatever the reason, the important thing is that he has stopped bothering us. Turns out all that chaos took a toll on him both emotionally and financially. He's hit rock bottom, folks. The guy is flat broke. On top of that, his wife is demanding alimony. It seems like his actions have come back to bite him and he's paying the price for his behavior. But here's the best part. I've made a firm decision to remove myself from this never-ending circus. I've had enough of the nonsense and drama that my brother brings into our lives. It's time for a fresh start, free from his toxic influence. On a positive note, my fiancé and I are doing great. We're having an amazing time together, building a strong and loving relationship without the burden of my brother's drama bringing us down. We're moving forward, leaving all that negativity behind. Consider this as my last post, guys. Bye. Yo, NTA, my dude. Ain't no way you should take the blame for your brother's twisted pranks and messed up behavior. It's messed up that he tried to sabotage your relationship by faking those pictures. Like, what was he thinking? But hey, karma came knocking on his door real hard, man. Losing his job and his wife demanding alimony? That's what he gets for being a total jerk. You made the right call by removing yourself from that whole crazy situation. Ain't nobody got time for that drama. Keep enjoying your time with your fiancé and leave your brother's nonsense in the rearview mirror. Stay true to yourself, bro. Oh my God, like totally NTA, bro. Your brother is seriously messed up for trying to ruin your relationship with those fake pictures at your engagement party. What a low blow, right? Good riddance, I say. You're smart for removing yourself from that toxic mess. Don't let his drama bring you down. Focus on the good vibes with your fiancé and leave your brother's nonsense in the past. You deserve all the happiness in the world. Next story. I, 20, am a student in college and have two siblings. We'll call them Mark, 23, and Chloe, 20. Mark has graduated college, and Chloe is my twin and is also in college at a different university. Relevant details. Prior to my parents getting divorced, my parents had made a college fund. Upon their divorce, I was a minor, so my dad took control of the college fund for me and my siblings. My dad claims to have donated significantly more than my mom to the college fund before they got divorced, but we are given no access to any of the information about the accounts. My dad has since gotten remarried and has two new kids, both under the age of 10. It is also relevant to note that my parents would not be financially burdened by the costs mentioned below. Currently, my dad is a smart guy, and when his parents died, he set aside a portion of his inheritance to fund my and my siblings' educations. My dad decided that he would disperse $5,000 to each of his children each quarter that they are in school for up to 12 quarters. Mark was given $5,000 each quarter over the course of 12 quarters, totaling $60,000, and Chloe is on a steady track to graduate in 12 quarters, which would also total $60,000. I'm also in college and have the opportunity to graduate early, as I had taken summer quarters and tested out of almost all of my general education classes. It is noteworthy that I paid for my summer quarters in order to get ahead so I could graduate early. Now that graduation is nearing, my dad has decided that the money that I'm saving by not needing to take classes in my senior year could be reinvested into my two younger half-siblings' education instead of helping with my current education costs, which, as of now, I simply cannot afford. But Chloe and Mark agree that the money that I am saving should be to help pay off some of my loans and help through my remaining quarters, as my college is slightly more expensive than theirs. But every time I bring this topic up to my dad, he gets upset, and I called him a prick. While I understand that his parents' money was to help his kids through college, it seems unfair to me that the effort and money I'm putting into graduating early is resulting in my college fund being given away to my other younger siblings, while I could have slacked off and gotten the full amount. TLDR. My siblings are receiving and are both getting the same amount of funding for college, but because I'm graduating early, my dad is giving the money I saved away, despite my school being more expensive. My dad got upset about the topic, and I called him a prick. Edit. People have been asking if my total education costs $100,000. I was expecting to take loans to cover the rest that the fund did not. Edit 2. Info. I paid for my summer quarters out of pocket by getting a job, and the college fund is in my name. I just do not have access to the details of the account. Edit 3. People seem confused, so I will add more details. In total, after graduation, I will be receiving $45,000, while my siblings will be receiving $60,000. I also will have paid for 2 of my own quarters that were used to get ahead. Edit 4. My final costs when I graduate will be $75,000 for 3 years of college and would have been $100,000 for all 4 years. NTA, your dad is being a prick. Though it's cold comfort right now, none of this will matter in the long run. If you continue to do what you're doing and get a degree in a good field, you will have a great career in a decade, and the college money will be relatively insignificant. Well, if that money was technically for your college education, he should be reimbursing you up to the amount saved, a dollar total of $60,000, if I understand correctly. If your college costs more than $60,000, then that's for you to pay. I don't understand how you have a surplus in your college fund that your dad wants to shift to your step siblings, but also owe money to your college. If you have a balance left from the $60,000, that is rightfully your college fund. I'm assuming he doesn't disagree there. But you paid for the summer sessions, etc. Then he needs to reimburse you even if it's after the fact, i.e., he only wants to give you $5,000 every quarter, no more. So yeah, not okay. But while he's the bigger a-hole, I don't think calling him names is going to help you get the resolution you want. You can either be blunt or you can be reimbursed. It doesn't seem like both are going to happen, but the latter is at least slightly possible. But you have to simmer down the belligerence if you even want a chance. It's up to you. Next story. I'm 19, female. My cousin Jan, 23, female, works nights and so sleeps during most of the day, which is totally fair. The issue is with communicating with her. The rest of our family operates during the day, and so, obviously, all of our texting and phone calls take place during daytime. We don't call Jen, but we do text her. None of us expect a reply straight away, but by her own admission, she wakes up at 5 p.m. and leaves for work at 10 p.m., so she has at least 5 hours to text back. I'm at the point where I don't expect a text back the same day, but recently it's gotten ridiculous. She sent a text to the family group chat, setting her boundaries. It was one rule: do not text her during the day. Her open hours are from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Now, I get those are her waking hours, but she's in the minority here. There's 30 people in this group chat, and she's the only one who operates at those hours. Of course, there will be some outliers, but I'm not staying awake until 3 a.m. to shoot her a quick text about if she wants red or green napkins. I'm all for setting and sticking to boundaries, but this is ridiculous. I sent her a text in November asking her what she wanted for Christmas and her birthday, early Jan, but she didn't respond, so I didn't get her anything. I was getting frustrated with Christmas gift fever and burnt out, and I felt like she was being deliberately irritating. She was leaving all my messages on read, even ones where I said I can't wait any longer to wait for her reply, so now is her last chance before I skip her. I should note that I'm not texting her non-stop. I barely text her outside of Christmas and birthday shopping. I don't think it's rude or unreasonable to respond to a text about what you want as a gift in a reasonable time frame. Again, I'm not expecting same-day replies, but if you want something, you answer. I'm not a mind reader. Christmas rolled around and everyone seemed to notice that I hadn't gotten her anything. Jen seemed a little upset, but she didn't tell me. So how would I know? I tried talking to her later about her birthday, but again, she wouldn't respond. So I did the same thing. For her birthday, she simply sent me a link to an online shop, but no links to t-shirts she liked or anything. I asked her what she wanted and no response. I didn't get her anything. Her birthday was yesterday and apparently she's been really upset. Her mom said I should have just gotten her what she asked for and ballpark sizes. Here's the thing, she didn't send me the links to t-shirts. She sent me the links to whole websites with no indication of what t-shirts she wanted. I even text searched to check in case I missed it. I asked her what t-shirt she wanted and she left me on read. I told my aunt this, but she said I needed to understand and respect her boundaries. I told her it's unreasonable to expect everyone to operate on her hours when her hours aren't the norm and that she's being a hypocrite because she also complains about Jen not responding. AITA? NTA. It's really simple with text because we can choose to respond at times within our allotted boundaries. You text her when it's good for you and she responds when it's good. She isn't responding just to be spiteful that you are crossing pretty unrealistic boundaries. I mean, if it's the text tones that bother her, do not disturb is a real option. My phone pretty much lives on that setting and I check my phone when convenient for me. I think her issue is more control. NTA, everyone has boundaries, but hers are a little extreme. The halfway point would be, hey, I work nights, so just be aware that my chats are muted during the day. I will not see anything. You message me. If I respond, it will probably be at X time. So if that is inconvenient for you, mute the chat as well. This allows everyone to get uninterrupted sleep while still responding to messages. If she doesn't respond, you can't accommodate her. That's on her. Ignore your aunt. Next story. My sister-in-law is getting married at the end of the month. My in-laws are paying for the wedding, and as a result, my mother-in-law thinks she has the right to dictate everything. She tried to pull this when my husband Seb and I got married, but we refused her money as we wanted to do what we wanted. All three of my daughters are part of the wedding. Mother-in-law didn't want my eldest two to be a part of the wedding as they aren't Seb's children, but sister-in-law wanted them to be a part of the wedding. The girls are 12, 9, and 6. All three girls have very long hair. 12, female's hair, reaches her knees, as she rarely gets her hair cut, while 9, female, and 6, female, have waist-length hair. Mother-in-law hates the fact they have long hair. She hates long hair and wants to get their hair cut. As she's paying for everything, including bridesmaid hair, she wants the girls to have their hair cut to shoulder length, which she still thinks is too long, but thinks it is a compromise. Both Seb and I have refused to consent to let her cut their hair as it's not something they want. They like having long hair. Mother-in-law is threatening to kick them out of the wedding party if we don't consent to the girls having their hair cut. Sister-in-law is telling other family members that we're trying to ruin her wedding by refusing. Seb has told mother-in-law and sister-in-law to drop the subject, as we won't be consenting to them getting their hair cut, and if they continue, we will attend as guests. This morning, 12, female, told us that mother-in-law had sent her a message about her hair for the wedding. In the message, mother-in-law was trying to convince her to agree to get her hair cut. Otherwise, she wouldn't be at the wedding party anymore. It was a very aggressively written message blaming me for this issue and calling me controlling. Mother-in-law told her that if she wanted to be a part of the wedding, then she needed to learn to do as she is told. Seb has now told sister-in-law and mother-in-law that because of this message, we will no longer be attending the wedding. Sister-in-law has taken to social media and is complaining that we're trying to ruin her wedding over a little hair trim. We are going low contact with sister-in-law and mother-in-law to protect the children, as I really do feel this was a step too far for me. AITA for refusing to cut their hair. NTA. They like their hair long, and it's their hair. If mother-in-law and sister-in-law can't deal with it, that's their problem, not yours. Tell your kids that their feelings and choices about their own body matter more than the opinions of others, and that it is mother-in-law, not you, preventing them from being in the wedding. NTA, and she needs to be blocked on your kids' devices until she can show she's improved her poor impulse control. No one gets to make those decisions but you and your kids. Geez, is she jealous? Stay tuned for more stories from our girl relationships.